Welcome to this BATV special report. I'm your host, Bart Camarata. Today we're discussing retirement plans and the three most common pitfalls that companies fall into. To help me with this challenge, I called retirement plan expert and 25-year veteran Karin Rettger from the Principal Resource Group. I sat down with her one-on-one to uncover the three biggest mistakes companies make when it comes to their retirement plan.
The three pitfalls that I find most common with employers are not understanding their plan fees, improper documentation, and not communicating the plan properly or to its full potential. For many years, that employers really didn't understand what they're paying for with their retirement plans. The fees were really a lot of smoke and mirrors. We may have known there was a fee. We may have known about what it was, but we really didn't know who's doing what are they being paid, and what are they doing, what do they say they're doing, and what are they really doing. A couple of years ago, there were some disclosure requirements to get service providers to do a better job explaining what it was they did and how much they were getting paid for it. But I still find that plans don't know what all the various pieces are. There's so many moving elements. We want to understand, is the fee reasonable for that plan? In order to determine reasonableness, we need to know what we're getting and what we're paying for. And then the second part of that is understanding, when we say is the fee reasonable, well, compared to what? Compared to other plans our size, compared to the services we're getting. So the only way to do that is to regularly benchmark the plan against other plans of its size. But taking it one step further, we like to go one step further in terms of every 3 to 5 years, making sure that that plan has been more thoroughly benchmarked in terms of a full market analysis. That's something I regularly do for my clients because I think it's important. It's important because to make sure you have reasonable fees protects the plan from potential litigation. Improper documentation is a common issue. I find that it causes plan sponsors problems, especially when an IRS audit inquiry is made or a Department of Labor inquiry is made, and when they start asking for documents and amendments, what we usually find is that maybe the client hasn't retained those documents in their files. They haven't retained signed copies of those documents. They don't have board minutes documenting that those documents and amendments were approved by the board. And these are things that are common that the IRS or Department of Labor might ask for to make sure that you're running a legitimate retirement plan. The improper documentation also is that there's no notes often maintained on why something occurred. And this isn't so much a problem when the same people are in place, but when somebody leaves, then the question may be, why was this procedure adopted? Why did this occur? So if it's documented, makes it much more seamless for us to try to piece together the questions that an IRS auditor may make or a Department of Labor auditor may make, or if you hopefully don't have any litigation, but if they start asking questions, you want to make sure you have followed good practices. Poor communication becomes an issue with sponsors, not only because they may not have the ability to disseminate the information to participants, but also perhaps they're not using all the tools that the provider may offer, or they don't have the resources to effectively communicate the plan. But so when I say poor communication, I mean maybe they're not using the plan communication to its best advantage. The reason it becomes a concern for sponsors is if they're not reaching employees on participating in the plan, then their participation is going to fall off. If their participation falls off far enough, then they risk not passing their compliance tests. If they don't pass their compliance tests, then what's going to happen? Well, then usually the highly compensated employees, which are your key managers, probably your boss, is going to somehow have to receive some sort of an adjustment on their account that they're going to have to pay taxes on, and they're not going to be happy about that. They're not going to like that. So when I see poor participation, I look immediately at the compliance testing to see if there's a problem there. If there's a problem there, then we need to address it. Can we resolve it through plan design, or can we effectively resolve it with better communication?
That's all the time we have for this BATV special report. I hope you took away something valuable. If you have any questions regarding your company's retirement plan, you can contact Karin directly at 888-857-4811 or on the web at prgresource.com. Until next time, I'm your host, Bart Camarata. Good night.